Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and welcome to the temple. Excited to welcome the Shabbat with everyone. You can follow the pages and the beautiful prayers and the music. If you look at the bottom of the YouTube link, there's a Mishkan Tfilah, a prayer book, where you can flip in and see where we're at. We begin our service with our opening song, Ma Yafeh Hayom, how beautiful the day is. It is Shabbat.
Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom, Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
We turn now to page 2 for the blessings over the candles and the fruit of the vine. I would like to invite the Gross family to lead us over these blessings.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lihadlik ner shel
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Amen.
We have some birthday blessings tonight. I know of Fred Jacobs and of Paula Sherman, and I apologize to everyone who has a birthday in April, and I forgot to say their names. So if you're in the mood and if you're able, and you had a birthday in the month of April, or you're about to have a birthday in the month of April, please rise to receive a blessing. And we say to everyone, Mazal Tov, which means good luck. May you look forward to a good and a healthy and a blessed year. And we say to you, Arachamanu yechadesh aleinu ve'alechem, Shana Tova, Shana Shel Bracha, Shana Shel Briut V'Shalom. May the Merciful One renew this year for goodness, for a blessing, for health, and for joy, and for peace. And may you live to be to at least 120 years, but always feel like you're only 20. And we want to sing for you, Shechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Turn now to page 20 to welcome together the Sabbath bride, Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pini Shabbat, nikabla. Lecha Shabbat, nikabla. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom umivorach. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom umivorach.
We rise as we turn to page 28 for the Baruch Hu. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who spreads the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, forcefully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Amariv Aravim. And we turn to page 34 for the calling of the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוך בך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words which I command you on this day shall be upon your heart, shall be upon your heart, and you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and you shall speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up, and when you rise up, and you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be for frontlets between your eyes, and you shall write them on the doorposts of your house, and upon your gates, and upon your gates, that you may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God.
We turn to page 40 to sing together the same song our ancestors sang as they were crossing the Sea of Reed, the Mi Chamocha.
Ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi chamocha nadar b'kodesh, nara tehilot osefele. Oh, Sefele, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch ata Adonai, hapores sukat shalom, עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
ישמחו במלכותך, שמרי 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 שבת לקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך Shabbat. Kulom isbiu vitangu mituvecha Shabbat. Yismechu b'malchutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'malchutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei Oneg Shabbat. V'hashvi רצית בו וקידשת שבת. חמדת ימים אותו קראת שבת. ישמחו במלכותך Shomri, Shomri, Shomri Shabbat, v'korei Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'malchutecha Shomri, Shomri, Shomri Shabbat, v'korei Oneg Shabbat. Zeiki למעשה בראשית שבת. למעשה בראשית שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי, שומרי, שומרי Shabbat, v'korei Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'malchutecha Shomri, Shomri, Shomri Shabbat, v'korei Oneg Shabbat.
We rise for the tefillah on page 46.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואמהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, God of our fathers and mothers, God of Abraham, God of Isaac, and God of Jacob, God of Sarah, God of Rebekah, God of Rachel, and God of Leah, the great, mighty, and awesome God, transcendent God, who bestows loving kindness, creates everything out of love, remembers the love of our fathers and mothers, and brings redemption to their children's children for the sake of the divine name. Sovereign deliverer, helper, and shield, blessed are you, Adonai, Sarah's helper, Abraham's shield. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. You are forever mighty, Adonai. You give life to all. You rain dew upon us. You sustain life through love, giving life to all. Through great compassion, supporting the fallen, healing the sick, freeing the captive, keeping faith with those who sleep in the dust. Who is like you, source of mighty acts? Who resembles you? a sovereign who takes and gives life, causing deliverance to spring up, and faithfully giving life to all. Blessed are you, Adonai, who gives life to all. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, Ael HaKadosh. Please be seated as we turn to page 61 for the prayer for shalom, the prayer for peace. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, our eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, amvarech et amo Yisrael, bashalom.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki ata Melech Adon L'chol HaShalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. V'tov b'necha livarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
We all need healing and strength and courage in our lives, in the life of everyone that is dear to us. The Misha Berach, the prayer for healing and strength and courage, can be found on page 253.
מי שברך אבותינו מקור הברכה אמותינו. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. מי שברך אמותינו מקור הברכה אבותינו. Bless those in need of healing, let us say, Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We have a guest speaker tonight, live from New York. Our beloved student cantor, Mike Jarvis, will speak and chant and sing about the Torah portions of this Shabbat. Please, Mike.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm coming to you from my apartment here in New York City. I want to thank the Rabbi for giving me the chance to give a devar. And I want to thank Benji for all of the technical wizardry that is happening right now that I certainly could not do. I've jerry-rigged a ridiculous setup, as I think we all are, so I have a sort of teleprompter here, so I'll apologize if I lean forward to be able to look through my notes. And yes, I have guitar. Yes, I'll play guitar. This is my first Shabbat playing a guitar publicly, so my apologies and my hope that you'll be gentle with me. I want to take a moment and ask you to look at the words that Benji is displaying. They are from Mishkan Tefillah, our Siddur. They're from the Shabbat morning service, and they're from a prayer that we call Elohai, or Elohai Neshama. Elohai Neshama Shenatata Bi Tehorahi. My God, the soul you have given me is pure. Ata v'rata, ata yitzarta, ata nefachta bi. You created it, you formed it, you placed it in me. Ve'ata mishamara bikirbi, and you protect it within me. This prayer thanks God for the creation of and the inherent purity of our souls. We insist that God not only created and placed our souls, but that God actively works to protect them from harm. This idea of the incorruptible purity that comes of being a creation of God, it's a beautiful and comforting image. And it also feels completely at odds with some of the messages we receive from Torah. In the portion of the Torah that we read this week, which we call Tazria Metzora, God spends an awful lot of time warning us about impurity. Specifically, these passages in Leviticus tell us how to recognize skin diseases and how we should respond if and when we detect them. The response is generally for the person to be banished to a place outside the camp until the disease is gone. Now, you might argue that there's some logic here, that someone with a contagious disease needs to be quarantined to protect the community. Certainly these days, having seen the effects of the coronavirus on the world and contemplating how much worse they might be without our stay-at-home orders, one can't help but see why a quarantine seemed like the safest choice for the early Israelite community. Still, this idea of a human being so impure that they must abandon their entire community is so at odds with how we believe the ill should be treated now that we may be tempted to write the section of Torah off altogether. And if that still doesn't bother you, let me point out that this portion also includes childbirth and menstruation as events that make someone impure. Now, you might point out that the Torah is dealing with the purity of a physical body rather than a soul. That's a fair point. But it also helps to understand why the Torah was so fixated on purity. You see, the Israelites were carrying with them a movable tabernacle in which the Spirit of God dwelled. This Spirit was the ultimate essence of purity, and being too close to this entity while being physically impure could literally be deadly. People died just from being too close to the Spirit while having blood on their skin. So you see, these strictures about bodily purity, they weren't just about protecting the community. They were about protecting the individual from the danger of being impure in the presence of the perfection of God. Now, I'll be honest, I have never thought of myself as a particularly physically pure guy. You've seen me devour everything the sisterhood volunteers bake for the oneg, haven't you? Yeah? Those cinnamon blondies, by the way, those are like my nemesis, honestly. But for all my potential impurity, I'm often very close to the Ark and the sanctuary, where we keep multiple Torahs, and I've never felt in danger of dying being near any of them. So, yeah, I think we can put away this idea of physical impurity as a danger to ourselves in the presence of God and Torah. But what about the purity of the soul? The soul God created and placed in me was pure, but in our very modern and very secular world, it can be so easy to fill that soul with impurities. Political discussions lately have made it easy to feel hate toward people that disagree with us. Personal and financial concerns can make us cruel to strangers that don't deserve our anger. And yes, the threat of diseases like coronavirus can make us act with such irrational fear as to make us a greater danger to our community than a disease itself could ever manifest. And yet, in our holy sanctuary or in Zoom, or anywhere we invoke our connection to the divine, we may do even greater and more lasting damage because by our proximity to God and Torah, we have the ability to convince ourselves that our hate and our cruelty and our fear are divinely justified. We can all think of people who use their religious fervor to excuse bigotry and prejudice. Can we honestly say that this is an impulse to which we are all immune? When we approach God, when we offer prayers for the strength to act, and when we use Torah to guide our decisions, whether we will truly transform those prayers and those decisions into good in our world will depend entirely on the purity in our souls. If our souls are impure, then we are a danger to our community and to ourselves. But don't forget, Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorai. The soul that God has given you is pure. That purity is your starting point, your default state. Despite the news and our own anxieties trying to convince us otherwise, human beings are fundamentally good, honest, kind, well-meant people. When we feel hate or anger, we may muddy that purity for a bit, and in that time we can harm others. But just as Torah told the Israelites then how to purify their bodies, Torah can tell us today how to purify our hearts. Before we attempt to approach God, let's fill our hearts with love. Let's seek to understand and assume the best of each other. Let's believe that working together will resolve our greatest challenges, and that in the meantime fearing them will do nothing for us. And let us find gratitude for the many miracles we experience each and every day, including the gift of life itself. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. Feel free to sing along with me. Elohai, Elohai, Eshamela, Shenatata bi tehorahi. Ata berata, ata yitzarta, ata nefachta bi.
We rise as we turn to page 284 for the Aleinu. We read together, "Let us adore the ever-living God and render praise unto you, who spreads out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. You are our God, there is none else."
ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
We turn to page 287 as we read together. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding, loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech. May we never lift up our hand, but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace.
Bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad, u'shmo echad.
Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. On this Shabbat, we remember especially Loni Nafusi, Hyman Bob Goodman, Erwin Singer, Sarah Kristen Friedman, Jacob Kleinman, Jerome Brown, Monty Brown, Harry Jacobs Daniels, Nathan Schwartz, Sylvia Weinschenker, Dvorah Franklin, Ed Shapira, Boris Kaskin, Jill Klein Van Straten, Rachel Levy, Mina Eva Goldenberg, Dorothy Doucette, Bernice Woolman Rosenman, Lazar Matz, Lamoine Lavender Morrow, Bill King, Vera Scott, Martin Burton Price, David Parnes, Elaine Glogauer, Elizabeth Lee Latz, Louise Baker, Edward Friedberg, Hyman Friedberg, Ted S. Heidemann, Adele Aberson, Leon Newman, Moose Shapira, Malcolm Friedman, Ginny Pecan, Fred Shatramp, and in recent days, Herbert Frankel. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. With the blessed memories of our loved ones, we rise as we turn to page 294 for the Mourner's Kaddish. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מברך, לעלם ולעולמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהא שלם הרבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום, עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. זיכרונם לברכה, may the memory of our loved ones come to be a blessing and a benediction to us all. Amen. Our closing song is עושה שלום.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו
יהי רצון מלפניך, אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אמותינו, שתוליכנו לשלום. May it be your will, Adonai our God and God of our ancestors, that we be guided on the path of shalom, of peace and wholeness and wellness and well-being, and that you always protect us from all harm and evil on our way. Bless the work of our hands and grant us grace, loving kindness and compassion in your eyes, in the eyes of everyone who sees us. Adonai Shalom, bless us with a Shabbat of Shalom. Shalom to our bodies, Shalom to our minds, Shalom to our souls. Shabbat Shalom.
Amen. Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.